Go to Tucson, my friends so dear. We gather today, it's crystal clear. From the streets of Congress to Mount Lemon's Peak, united we stand strong and sleek. Old Pueblo's pride, under the desert sun. From the barrios to the ranches, we are one. We walk hand in hand through the cactus and sand. Together we rise tall and grand. Tucson is home where hearts collide. In this vast country where dreams reside, we lift our voices, let our spirits roam. In this melting pot, Tucson is home. In the shadows of the Catalyst, we unite. From dawn's first light to the calm of night. Through trials and triumphs, together we grow. Tucson's love, forever we'll show. Arizona's gem, in the heart of the West. Tucson's diversity is simply the best. From the old missions to the modern flair, our culture and warmth we proudly share. Tucson is home where hearts collide. In this vast country where dreams reside, we lift our voices, let our spirits roam. In this melting pot, Tucson is home. In the shadows of the Catalyst, we unite. From dawn's first light to the calm of night. Through trials and triumphs, together we grow. Tucson's love, forever we'll show. Tucson is home. Tucson's love, forever we'll show. Tucson is home where hearts collide. In this vast country where dreams reside, we lift our voices, let our spirits roam. In this melting pot, Tucson is home. In the shadows of the Catalyst, we unite. In this vast country where dreams reside.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning, Judge.
All right.
Good morning, Your Honor.
We're starting with Mr. Saad Aldine.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay. And do we have the interpreter?
Yes, right here, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, Your Honor.
All right. Good morning, sir. Is your true name Louay Sadaline?
يا سيدي اسمك لؤي غازي سعد الدين؟
لؤي غازي سعد الدين.
Yes, Your Honor. لؤي سعد الدين.
This is a time set for an initial appearance. You've been arrested on charge of assault, domestic violence, and disorderly conduct domestic violence.
يا سيدي ده أول لقاء ليك مع المحكمة أو مع القاضي وتهمتك إن في اعتداء وعنف أسري وبذلك سببت إزعاج لما يحيط بيك.
You have Sir, let me speak first, please, and then you'll have a chance to talk.
الأول هتكلم ثم ترد.
Okay.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you in some instances.
أنت لك الحق إن أنت لا تتكلم ولا تقول أي شيء ولا شيء تقوله هيؤخذ ضدك. في هناك محامي سيمثلك وإن لم يكن لك محامي ممكن المحكمة تعين لك محامي. Yes, sir.
Sir, I am going to allow you to be released on your promise to appear because you do not have any criminal history. The allegations are concerning here really regarding your wife and your son, but I am going to allow you to be released, and they could not be contacted regarding having contact with you, so I am going to allow contact right now.
أنت هيطلقوا سراحك لأن ليس لك أي تاريخ عنف أو أي جرائم ليس لك أي جرائم عنف لكن لابد أن أنت تظهر مرة أخرى للمحكمة عندما يحدد موعد لك. لابد أن كل ما هو ادعاءات ضدك من زوجتك وابنك لابد أن أنت تبتعد عنهم ولا يكون لك أي علاقة بهم.
There are several conditions of release that you have to follow. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, possess no firearms or weapons.
ولكن هناك شروط حتى يتم الإفراج عنك وهو أن أنت لا تتناول أي مخدرات أو أي شيء يتيح بقدرتك على التحكم في نفسك ولا يكون لك أي حق في أن أنت يكون لك سلاح في حوزتك.
Your next court date is February 11th at 1:30 p.m. in front of Judge Millian for an arraignment, and you must appear or a warrant could issue for your arrest.
التاريخ القادم لمثولك في المحكمة هو شهر 2 يوم 11 الساعة 1:30 ساعة 1:30 وده أمام قاضية اسمها ميلينم ولابد أن أنت تحضر وهذه المحاكمة.
Do you understand, sir?
هل أنت فاهم يا سيدي لؤي؟ هل أنت فاهم؟
نعم فاهم.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.
هذا كل ما هو اليوم.
بس في سؤال بس لو سمحتي.
I have a question, please. Can I do that? Can I ask it?
Yeah.
اتفضل.
أنا ما عندي مأوى يعني أسكن عند حدا يعني إذا هلا ما سكنت معهم أنا راح أتعهد قدام القاضي إني أنا ما أزعجهم ولا أي شيء بس بروح على شغلي وبيجي بنام ببيتي لمدة شهر تعطيني القاضية وبأمن أنا سكن لحالي.
Your Honor, I don't have residence. I don't have a place to live. Could you please allow me to live with them? But I will have no contact with them. I will not disturb them. all I will do is sleep in the house, just go to my work and come back, but there will be no contact and no attack and no way that I will ever disturb them.
So, sir, I have not restricted your access to your house or your family at this point in time. You are allowed to have contact with them.
Excuse me, are not allowed. I'm sorry, there is an echo, but you're not allowing him this?
I'm not restricting his access. He is allowed to have contact. And
القاضية ما بتمنعكش ان انت ممكن تسكن في المكان، لكن لابد ان تفصل ما بينك وما بينهم تماما، ولا يكون بينك وبينهم اي اتصال بالمرة. Yes.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
شكرا. Thank you, Your Honor. May I be interpreted?
Yes.
May I be excused?
Thank you.
تاريخ الشهر بس نقول لا لو سمحتي بس بدي اتاكد من تاريخ الشهر، يسجل لي اياه هون على الورقه مشان ما انساه.
Your Honor,
يعني
so this is, I'm allowed to stay in the house for a month. Is this what you can allow me?
So, sir, you are allowed to have contact with your family and you're allowed to live in your residence. That is not restricted. If your wife and your child ever come to court and ask for you to have no contact or for you to move out of the house, then that will be decided by a different judge and you'll have to abide by that. But for now, you are allowed to live at home and you're allowed to have contact with your family.
يا سيدي، هي ايوه بتسمح لك ان انت تعيش في البيت، وممكن انه يبقى فيه اتصال بس ما هوش اتصال فيه اي نوع من الاعتداء. لكن لو حدث ان زوجتك وابنك تقدموا للمحكمة ان انت بتعتدي عليهم او بتزعجهم، في الحالة دي هيبقى فيه قرار اخر من المحكمة.
اوكي.
فهي بتسمح لك تعيش معاه.
اوكي.
اوكي. ثانك يو.
سؤال بس، انا بدي بس تاريخ المحكمه الثانيه اي يوم، شد التاريخ وسجل لي على الورقه هون مشان احضر المحكمه.
Could you please repeat, Your Honor, the date that I would be appearing in court?
It's
February 11th at 1:30.
February 11th at 1:30 p.m. That's Tucson City Court.
شهر 2 يوم 11 1:30 في محكمة توسون.
شهر 2 هينو شهر إذا يوم 11 هينو.
Madam Interpreter, I've written the date and time down in kind of the common American way of writing a date and time. He seems to not understand what I've written. Could you let him know that I've written the date and the time of his next court date, and the address of the court is right there too.
ده شهر 2 في السنة، يعني الشهر القادم يوم 11 في الشهر 11 الساعة 1:30، وأمامك عنوان المحكمة كتبه لك المحامي.
Okay.
Right, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. That's all for today.
Thank you.
هذا كل ما هو اليوم. مع السلامة.
Good morning, everybody. I forgot to turn the music off. 1 second. Sorry about that.
Good morning, sir. Is your true name Jaron Fisher Fenrick?
Yes.
This is a time set for a review hearing. There's a warrant out of Maricopa County Superior Court for possession of a narcotic drug. You're being held on $5,500 cash or secured bond. That bond is going to remain until your local charges are resolved, and then Maricopa County will come and pick you up from the jail. So your next review hearing is February 18th at 9 a.m. Do you
Excuse
understand,
me.
sir?
Yes, I have a question. So I went to court yesterday, and for these two cases that I'm dealing with out here in Tucson, these are the only two cases that I have to deal with until Maricopa comes to pick me up. Do you know if I'd have to come to the February 18th court date before the 30 days start to where Maricopa picks me up?
So if your local charges are resolved before the 18th,
Yeah.
Maricopa is free to come and pick you up. I'm not sure how long that takes them. But at the review hearing on the 18th, you won't be transported if you're already, if Maricopa has already come and picked you up.
I won't be transporting. What?
You won't be brought to the 18th. You asked if
Oh,
you have to come to the 18th. You will not be
yeah.
you will not be brought like you are right now to the 18th if your local charges are resolved and Maricopa County has picked you up.
Okay. So it'll like trigger something to where it knows that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. When is your next court date for your local charges?
My next court date is on the 27th, and then that's when I get sentenced. So
Okay. So that should be a sufficient amount of time for Maricopa County to come and transport you on the warrant. Like I said, so that hearing will get canceled if you're taken by Maricopa County.
okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank
All right. Thank you.
you.
Hold on.
Hope everyone's having a good morning. I'm checking in from the road.
Good morning, sir. Is your true name Michael Albert Gallegos?
Yes.
This is a time set for a review hearing. You're being held on a $10,000 cash or secured bond on a warrant out of Maricopa County Superior Court for possession of a dangerous drug and possession of a narcotic drug and possession of drug paraphernalia. We are going to continue to hold these review hearings until your local charges are resolved, and then Maricopa County will come and retrieve you on that warrant. So your next court hearing here for review hearing is the 18th of February at 9 a.m.
I go to court for substitute tomorrow.
Okay, so just like the last person that I just talked to, if you're sentenced, then Maricopa County will be notified and they'll be free to come and retrieve you. I don't know how long that process takes, but if they do that before the 18th, then that hearing will get vacated.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Good morning, sir. Is your true name Nicholas Raposh?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
This is the time set for an initial appearance on a fugitive warrant out of Massachusetts. Your next hearing on the fugitive warrant is January 21st at 2:30 p.m. I am going to appoint you an attorney, the legal defender, to represent you in this matter. And I'm going to order that you be held on a $150,000 bond. At the fugitive warrant review hearing, the Superior Court judge will explain to you your rights regarding extradition, and you'll have an attorney there to help you as well. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, what do I do because I'm innocent? So like how do I that's my question, Your Honor. What do I do?
So the
You
case
have to-
is Massachusetts, so you're gonna go back to Massachusetts, where you'll either be a lawyer or you're gonna hire somebody.
Thank you.
To deal with that.
Thank you. Thank you, Your
All
Honor,
right,
for being
thank
here
you.
today.
Your Honor, was legal defender appointed on that? Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that's all, Mr. Raposh. Thank you.
Thank you. Ready? Yes, sir.
Your Honor, this is the jail. Miss Katie Southern has refused.
Katie Southern?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So for Miss Southern, we will continue her to the PM session. That one's yours.
Arthur?
Good morning, sir. Is your true name Arthur Cardenas?
Yes.
All right. You are here on a city court case where you have failed to appear. You're also here, and that's a domestic violence assault case. Give me just a minute. And the case is from 2016, so I am going to order that you're held on $500 cash bond on that case. That's out of Green Valley Justice Court. Your attorney is Janet Altschuler. Your court date is January 23rd at 8:30 a.m. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, no firearms or weapons in that case. And then we have a city court case where you have failed to appear from 2023 for a paraphernalia charge. I'm going to order that you be held on $500 cash bond. In that case, the city public defender is going to be representing you in that case. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, and your court date is January 24th at 1:45 p.m. in front of Judge Hale. Do you understand, sir?
Yes.
All right, that's it for today.
So it's Green Valley, there's a Tucson city. You know, thank you. It's look.
Good morning, sir. Is your true name Michael Long?
Yes, ma'am.
This is the time set for an initial appearance. You have been arrested on charges of possession of drug paraphernalia, and there's also a DUI charge where you have failed to appear out of Pima County Justice Court. You also have a city court case where you are on, it's like you're on probation and have been in violation of the conditions of probation. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Sir, in the
Say about that.
I'd advise you not to wait till you get to the judge. Actually, in your case, it's just the initial appearance, so that they're not going to decide whether you're guilty or innocent or anything like that. If you go to court, talk to your lawyer, the judge.
Yeah, because I didn't violate probation. I mean, that happened before I was on probation.
That will be addressed.
It's my turn to talk right now. I'm going to
Sorry.
order that you're held on $500 cash bond on the DUI because you have failed to appear. You are to not drive without a valid license, no alcohol or illegal drugs, do not drink or drive. Your court date is tomorrow, January 17th at 1 p.m. Pima County Justice Court. Your attorney is Peter Gutierrez. I'm going to give you his contact information on that case.
Okay.
And then we have the paraphernalia charge, same attorney, Peter Gutierrez, same court date tomorrow at 1 p.m. $500 cash bond, no alcohol or illegal drugs. And then the city court cases for theft, disorderly conduct, 2 counts, and another theft, shoplifting. Those are from 2022. Going to order that you be held on $2,500 cash bond. You are to not return to the incident location. City public defender is reappointed to represent you. No alcohol or illegal drugs. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, that's it for today. Morning, sir. Is your true name David Randall Phillips?
Yes.
This is a time set for an initial appearance. You have been arrested on multiple cases out of Tucson City Court for failing to appear, paraphernalia, theft, criminal trespass, shoplifting. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. So, sir, because you have failed to appear, I am going to order that you're held on $500 cash bond on all of these cases. Your next court date is a pretrial conference, January 24th at 1:45 p.m. in front of Judge Hale, Tucson City Court. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs. Do not go to the incident location. Sal Huerta is reappointed to represent you in these cases. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, that's all for today. Good morning, ma'am. Is your true name Monica Rivera?
Luna Rivera.
I'm sorry?
Monica Luna Rivera.
Monica Luna Rivera. Okay. This is
Yes.
this is a time set for an initial appearance. You have been arrested on charges of criminal damage, domestic violence, and disorderly conduct. Domestic violence. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. So, Ms. Rivera, I am going to order that you be held on $500 cash bond. Your attorney is the city public defender. They will be representing you in this matter. This is just based on the repetitive nature of these offenses and the same victim that's alleged to be involved. And I do find that you're a danger to that victim. You are to Sir, ma'am, I'm not done. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, possess no firearms or weapons. Your next court date is January 24th at 1:45 p.m. for a domestic violence arraignment. You are to have no contact with the victim. Do not go to the victim's residence or workplace. Commit no acts of domestic violence, possess no firearms. Do you understand, ma'am?
We both own the home and that's the only residence I have. And right now I'm taking care of my disabled boyfriend who is right now on oxygen and I'm his caregiver. If I can be given the opportunity to continue, because I don't have the $500 right now, Your Honor. I do get my Social Security check on the 1st of the month, which I can give money, but right now I'm taking care of him and he's disabled and we live in the same residence. I will be willing to not talk to him, but that's the only resident I have. And our parents are deceased and him and I own the same home.
Do you live with your brother?
Yes.
Brother.
Yeah. And I take care of my boyfriend in the same home. And he's on oxygen right now and I'm his caregiver. He's also disabled.
So ma'am, my concern is that you have 2 pending cases with, and I don't want you to make any statements, but this is not a healthy situation. You've been accused of multiple accounts of domestic violence against the same person. So at this point in time, I'm not going to allow you to go back there. You're going to have to find somewhere else to reside. You're going to have a court date on the 24th. You can ask Judge Surhijo to reconsider that, but I do find that you're a danger to this victim. So at this point in time, you're going to have to find another place to live.
Do I have to be held on the $500 bond when I don't get my check until the 1st, ma'am?
I'm not going to change my decision regarding your bond. It's $500 cash. Thank you.
So even if I tell my brother.
Ma'am, that's all for today. I don't want you to keep arguing with me. You have an attorney. Good morning, sir. Is your true name Kevin Simmons?
Yes, ma'am.
This is a time set for an initial appearance. You've been arrested on charges of endangerment, domestic violence, assault, domestic violence, disorderly conduct, domestic violence, 2 counts. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Sir, I am going to appoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you. I'm going to order that you be held on a $1,000 cash bond based on the violent nature of this offense. Your next court date is January 12 p.m. in front of Judge Million for a domestic violence arraignment. If you bond out, you are to appear at that arraignment. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, possess no firearms or weapons, and you are to have absolutely no contact whatsoever with the alleged victims or the residence or workplace. Do you understand?
Are you already misdemeanor or misdemeanors? All of them? Yeah. All right. Yeah, I understand.
Correct. That's all for today.
Misdemeanor right now.
No, they're charged with misdemeanor. City court is just misdemeanor for charge.
Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning, sir. Is your true name Roman Arriero?
Arriero?
Arriero. This is the time set for an initial appearance. You've been arrested on several charges. The first one is a criminal damage domestic violence charge, which is a felony. I do note that you are also on felony probation. You were also arrested on a warrant out of Pima County Justice Court for a 2020 case where you failed to appear, resisting arrest and disorderly conduct, disturbing the peace. You also have a city court case, misdemeanor case, criminal damage, disorderly conduct, and assault, domestic violence. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. I'm going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you in the felony case. The state's recommending that you're held on bond. Neil?
7,500, Your Honor. We have, he's already on probation. He's a 5 and a 6. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if a felony probation hold comes down the pike soon.
Thank you. And Pear?
Thank you, Your Honor. I would ask that you give Mr. Arriero a chance on free trial services release. He has no violent history. He is a lifelong community member, and there isn't a probation hold yet. So I would ask that you give him a chance on release. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Mr. Arriero, I do find that you're a danger to the victims in these cases.
Why?
Sir, it's my turn to talk. Anything you say right now can and will be used against you. So let me finish. The victims are asking that you have no contact with them or their residence or workplace. I'm going to order that you be held on $7,500 cash or secured bond. Your next court date is January 27th at 1:30 p.m. for a domestic violence preliminary hearing in Pima County Justice Court. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, no firearms or weapons, and you're going to be monitored by pretrial services.
Unless your lawyers never give them a call. Okay.
In the in the Justice Court case, resisting arrest, because you have failed to appear for 4 years, I'm going to order that you be held on $500 cash bond. Your next court date is tomorrow, January 17th at 1 p.m. Pima County Justice Court. Your attorney is Doug Taylor. We'll give you his contact information. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs. Lastly, in the misdemeanor, criminal damage, disorderly conduct, and assault matter, I'm going to order that you be held on $500 cash bond. Your next court date is January 24th at 1:45 p.m. in Tucson City Court. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, possess no firearms or weapons, no contact of any kind with the alleged victim, which is your sister, no contact with her residence or workplace, and the city public defender is appointed to represent you. Do you understand? All right, I'm going to let you put yourself on mute and talk to your attorney, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
No problem. Do you want these 103 and 104? Okay. Thank you. Morning, sir. Is your true name Joseph Daly?
Yes.
This is a time set for an initial appearance. You've been arrested on felony charges of theft of means of transportation and burglary in the 3rd degree. We are also here on a city court misdemeanor cases where you failed to appear, and that's an assault, domestic violence, criminal damage, domestic violence, and disorderly conduct. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. I'm going to appoint the Pima County Legal Defender's Office to represent you in the felony matter. I do also note that there is a probation hold on you from a previous case out of Pima County. The state is asking for a no bond hearing because you were released to pretrial services in this current case. Neil, anything you want to add?
No, Your Honor.
All right. And Pear, anything?
In these days for I just asked you something no hearing as soon as possible.
Thank you. All right. So Mr. Daly, by law, I am required to set a no bond hearing. That's going to be January 21st at 2:30 p.m. You're going to have counsel there, and that's going to be in Superior Court, where either the state is going to pursue no bond or ask to set a bond. If you bond out, you are to have no contact with the alleged victim, no alcohol or illegal drugs, and monitoring by pretrial services. In your city court matter, I'm going to order that you be held on $500 cash bond. Your next court date is January 22nd at 1:30 p.m. in front of Judge Millian for a pretrial conference. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, possess no firearms, no contact with the alleged victim or their residence or workplace, and the city PD will represent you in that matter. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, that's all for today. Good morning, sir. Is your true name Mario Andre Rodriguez?
Yes.
All right, this is a time set for an initial appearance. You've been arrested on a warrant for failing to appear for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, dangerous instrument, out of Pima County Superior Court. We're also here on a Pima County, South Tucson disorderly conduct case. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. I'm going to appoint, let's see here, the Pima County Legal Defender's Office to represent you in the felony matter. The state is requesting a $50,000 bond. Anything you want to add, Neil?
Your Honor, it's the bond amount in the paperwork, so the state's not going to second guess the court.
Thank you. I do note that the warrant that issued June of last year was $50,000.
And it's also been,
Go ahead.
and it's also been 7 months, so.
Pear, anything you want to say?
Yes, Your Honor. I'd just like to note that these FW warrants are, issued without notice to the defendant. There's no indication that Mr. Rodriguez knew this warrant was out there pending. I would ask that you institute a much smaller bond in the range of $5,000. He has no recent failures to appear. And like I said, he was never previously arrested. He hasn't failed to appear on this case. So I would ask that you give him a chance with a little bit lower of a bond of $5,000. Thank you.
So, Mr. Rodriguez, I do find that a bond is appropriate. I'm going to set it at $25,000 cash or secured, pretrial services supervision if posted. Hold on just a second. You are to have no contact with the alleged victim. I know that's your mother, but she's requesting that, and no contact with her residence or workplace, no alcohol or drugs, no acts of domestic violence, no firearms or weapons. Your next court date is a preliminary hearing, January 27th at 1:30 p.m.
Yeah, the 27th. Good.
And then the South Tucson matter, I'm going to order that you're held on $1,000 cash bond. Your next court date is tomorrow for an arraignment at 10 a.m. in South Tucson City Court. Your attorney is Michael Vaughn. We're going to give you his contact information. In this case as well, same victim, no contact with her residence or workplace, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons, and no acts of domestic violence. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, that's all for today.
I'm sorry, the aggravated assault is for my mom?
Sir, I'm going to let you talk to your attorney. Anything you say here is being recorded and it can be used against you. Okay?
Oh. Thank you, Your Honor.
Morning, sir. Is your true name John Tahini?
Yes, ma'am.
This is the time set for an initial appearance. You've been arrested on a charge of burglary, 3rd degree, aggravated assault on a peace officer, resisting arrest, and possession of drug paraphernalia. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. I will appoint the Pima County Legal Defender's Office to represent you in this matter. The state is recommending a high bond in this case of $50,000. Anything else you want to add, Neil?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Pear?
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd ask that you hold Mr. Tahini on a bond of only $2,500. He has no violent history. He is a lifelong community member. And it seems like this case involves confusion, perhaps some mental health issues going on. For all those reasons, I would ask that you consider it $2,500.
So, Mr. Tahini, based on your criminal history, I am going to find that you're a threat to the community. I'm counting multiple burglary charges in your past and other multiple charges, historical prior convictions. So based on that and the nature of this offense, I'm going to order that you be held on $25,000 cash or secured bond. Your next court date is January 27th at 1:30 p.m. Pima County Justice Court. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons, no contact with the alleged victims or the incident location. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that's all for today.
Please, we'll give them a call tomorrow.
Okay, so how much is my?
Morning.
Good morning, sir. Is your true name Ernest Torres?
Yes, ma'am, it is. Yes, Your Honor.
This is the time set for an initial appearance. You've been arrested on charges of assault, domestic violence, 2 counts, criminal damage, disorderly conduct, domestic violence. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. In some instances, if you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. So, sir, based on the nature of this offense, I'm going to order that you be held on $1,500 cash bond. Your next court date is January 24th at 1:45 PM in front of Judge Mayhew. Your attorney, sir?
May I say something?
Not yet. Your attorney is the city public defender. There's an active order of protection with this victim. You are to have no contact with the victim or the residence or workplace, possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, possess no firearms or weapons.
Your Honor,
Any questions?
yes, Your Honor, this, could I have a moment to speak with him first, Your Honor?
Sure.
Thank you. Your Honor, Mr. Torres would like to make a statement about release.
Mr. Torres, given the advisement that I have made to you, I would urge you not to make a statement, but if you wish to, you can.
Yes, Your Honor. On my behalf, Your Honor, with all due respect, I've been at Complete Landscaping for 3 years, Your Honor, and I make foreman now. And I that's the only thing I got going for me that's been holding me down and helping me out, Your Honor. And I'm asking you for a chance so I maybe have my job still because they were not holding. I'm asking you, please give me one chance to straighten this out. And I will make this right, Your Honor. I will not have no contact with anybody, any victim or anything. I live in Green Valley, Your Honor. And I go to work back and forth every day, Your Honor. And I've been doing this for 3 years. And I finally made something a foreman of myself of doing something, Your Honor. And I'm asking you with all due respect, Your Honor, to give me one chance to make this right. And I promise I will do this. I've been away from them.
I'm not going to change my decision today. You have an attorney appointed to you. You can talk to him about this case. And when you're in front of the judge next time, you can ask the judge to reconsider my decision. Good morning, sir. Is your true name Jesse Matthew Harvey?
Yeah.
All right, this is a time set for an initial appearance. You've been arrested on charges of assault and criminal damage. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney in some instances. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. So, Mr. Harvey, I'm going to allow you the opportunity to be released on your promise to appear. Do you still reside at the halfway house?
That's where I stay at. It's a group home.
Okay, are you allowed to go back there?
They could call and ask.
Okay. Do you have anywhere else to go?
No, Your Honor. If they don't let me back, I have nowhere else to go.
Okay, so somebody will contact them before you're released today. Your next court date is March 6th at 9:30 a.m. for an arraignment in front of Judge Blue. That's mental health court in Tucson City Court. I'm not going to restrict contact with the alleged victims in this case or the residents because that is where you reside at the group home. But you are not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. You're not to commit any acts of domestic violence, and you are to not possess firearms or weapons. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, that's all for today.
Go back up. Alright, so you guys contact my group woman and Albert.
Yes, sir.
Alright, thank you.
I'll stay. I'll keep it there. Oh, sorry.
Good morning, sir. Is your true name Hugo Alvarado?
Yes.
All right, this is the time set for an initial appearance. You've been arrested on charges of possession of a narcotic drug and possession of drug paraphernalia. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Also note, sir, that you are on probation in a separate matter. The state is recommending that you be held on a bond in this case. Neil, anything else to add?
Your Honor, I wasn't entirely sure if probation had come around with the hold yet. Does the court have additional information?
I do not, but I would expect that they will, but I don't have that information yet.
Jail says no
State
hold.
sub-
Okay,
State submits on the written record.
and Pear?
Thank you, Your Honor. Since you released Mr. Alvarado in supervision of pretrial services, this is a personal possession case. It's smart court eligible. He is full-time employed, and keeping that job is important for him to move forward in this case and move on in his life. So for all those reasons, I would ask that you give a shot at pretrial services.
Thank you. So, Mr. Alvarado, based on your history here, and it looks like your issues with substance abuse, I am going to order that you be held on $2,500 cash bond. You will be screened for steps court. That court date is going to be the 23rd, January 23rd at 9 a.m. in Pima County Superior Court. You're going to be transported to court if you're eligible for steps. If you're not, you will not be. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, and you're going to be monitored by pretrial if you do post that bond. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, that's all for today. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. There's one other issue. You were also arrested on a driving without a license on a suspended or revoked, canceled license. City court has chosen not to pursue those charges against you, so those are dismissed. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
That's it.
Good morning. Good morning, ma'am. Is your true name Lauren Armijo?
Yes, it is.
Time set for an initial appearance. You've been arrested on a charge of possession of a dangerous drug. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. I will appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you, ma'am. The parties are recommending that you be released to the supervision of pretrial services, so I am going to allow you that opportunity. Your case is going to be screened for steps court. Your court date is January 23rd at 9 a.m. You do need to show up there in order to find out if you're going to be eligible for the steps diversion program. That's a program where, in lieu of prosecuting you for this felony, the county attorney could offer you a chance to participate in a diversion program, which would include substance abuse treatment. And if you do that to the satisfaction of the program, the charges will never be filed against you. So, but you have to show up next week in order to take advantage of that. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, and you will be monitored by pretrial services. Do you understand? All right, that's all for today.
Oh, when you get up, give you a order. Make sure you show up for court next week.
Okay. Thank you.
We go, Carlos.
Oh, good morning, sir. Is your true name Carlos Burgos?
Yes, it is.
This is the time set for an initial appearance. You've been arrested on charges of possession of a dangerous drug and possession of drug paraphernalia. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. I'll appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. I do note that there is a probation hold out of Cochise County for drug possession charges. So you are being held on that. The state, Neil, you're recommending release on this case?
ETS and SMART, Your Honor.
All right, it's actually called STEPS, not SMART.
Hearing. SMART's the initial hearing.
Not anymore. We're not using that acronym anymore.
Oh,
FYI.
fair enough.
Talk to Peter. I mean, he's involved in that. Anyway, Pear,
Right
is
here,
there anything you want to
justice
say?
for
He is being
Isaac
held
Benitez.
on a probation hold.
Car right there.
Could I have just one moment with him, Your Honor?
Sure.
Your Honor, given the probation hold, we would ask that you impose a nominal bond so that he earns some time credit in this new case.
Okay. Thank you. So I'm gonna order that you're held on 500 cash bond. In this case, sir, you'll get credit on this case for that, since you're being held on another case. You are eligible to be screened for steps court. You may or may not be eligible for the diversion, but the county attorney will screen your case. A court date is January 23rd at 9 a.m. for steps court if you qualify. If you don't qualify, you will not be transported from the jail. If you do qualify, you'll be transported from the jail and court will talk to you about it at that point in time. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, and you'll be monitored by pretrial services. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, that's all for today.
That's the lawyer number. Good. I'm gonna call him tomorrow. Yep, next meeting.
Good morning. Is your true name Nicole K. Camry?
Yes, ma'am.
This is the time set for an initial appearance. You've been arrested on a warrant for taking contraband into a correctional facility and possession of dangerous drug. We also need to talk about some misdemeanor cases out of Tucson City Court where you have failed to appear. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. I'm going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you in the felony case. The state is recommending that you be held on bond. Here.
Your Honor, I would ask that you give Ms. Camry an opportunity on pretrial services release. This is a non-violent offense. She has no violent history. She has no felony history, no felony convictions. She is a lifelong community member and has been experiencing homelessness. For all those reasons, I would ask that you give her a shot on pretrial release.
And then I was gonna go to rehab.
She is interested in going to rehab as well.
All right, so Ms. Camry, because you failed to appear, I'm going to order that you be held on $2,500 cash or secured bond. Your arraignment is January 23rd at 1:30 p.m. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, and you'll be monitored by pretrial services. The city court case where you failed to appear as well, trespass and paraphernalia, I'm going to order that you be held on $500 cash bond. Your court date is January 24th at 1:45 p.m. in front of Judge Cranshaw. That's Tucson City Court. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs. Do not go to the incident location. And again, your attorney is City Public Defender. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that's it for today.
Thanks a lawyer to make give them a call tomorrow. That's your court date for felonies. That's your court date.
So mine, they're gonna release it.
Nothing. You have $3,000 of total bond. Talk with your lawyer about filing a motion and get that released. Once you get.
How do I do that? When do I do that?
They'll be assigned this afternoon, so if you give them a call either late today or tomorrow, someone should be assigned to get to talk to you about your case.
And no paperwork.
We'll have to, they'll work with social work to find a way to bring it forward. Okay, join us or something.
And it'll take me to
Talk to your lawyer about it.
me.
But no.
Thank you.
Morning, ma'am. Is your true name Alexis Gonzalez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, this is a time set for an initial appearance. You've been arrested on charges of possession of drug paraphernalia and possession of a dangerous drug. There's also a warrant out of Maricopa County for a probation violation. It does not appear that there is any hold on you yet. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. I am going to appoint the Pima County Legal Defender's Office to represent you. And the state is requesting that you be released to the supervision of pretrial services. So ma'am, I am going to give you that opportunity to be released. You may be eligible for steps court. You have to come to court on the 23rd at 9 a.m. That's the Superior Court to take advantage of that program. It's a diversion program where if you're eligible, you'll be offered a chance to participate in drug treatment in lieu of being prosecuted for this felony, these felonies that you were arrested for. It's a great program, so take advantage of that and show up, and they'll let you know if you're eligible. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, and you're going to be monitored by pretrial services. Do you understand?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
You try when you get out, clear tomorrow, make sure you show up. Okay.
You know, I don't know about the time. 100 hours. You meant.
Morning, sir. Is your true name Francis Moore?
Yeah.
All right, this is a time set for an initial appearance. You've been arrested on charges of burglary in the 3rd degree. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Sir, I'm talking now. Stop talking. I'm going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. State is recommending that you prepare any recommendation.
Your Honor, I'd ask you to release him to the supervision of pretrial services. No violent offense. He's got no violent history. He is a long-term community member.
Never played that first
He does have
thing.
a long history, but it isn't
You knew today.
specifically personal possession cases. And obviously there's mental health issues going on.
First was first.
I'd ask that you release him to pretrial services. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Mr. Moore, based on the nature of this offense where you were threatened to stab a Family Dollar store clerk, I am going to find that you're a risk to the community. I'm going to order that you're held on $7,500 cash or secured bond. Your next hearing is January 27th at 1:30 p.m. You are to not return to the incident location, possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons. All right, that is all for today.
Was that 7,500?
Yes. Good morning, ma'am. Is your true name Kaylee Ramirez?
Yes.
All right, this is a time set for an initial appearance. You've been arrested for multiple charges here. There's a warrant out of Pima County Superior Court for multiple charges of possession of a narcotic drug and a dangerous drug and paraphernalia, unlawful means of transportation and prescription drug possession. There's also a city court case for resisting arrest. And there's also brand new charges of resisting arrest, possession of a narcotic drug, and possession of drug paraphernalia. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. I am going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you in the felony charges. State is recommending that you be held on a bond. And Pear?
Your Honor, I see that the state's asking that she be held no bond on some recommendations and a bond on others. Could we get some clarification from the state on that?
I have 2,500. She's on release, but Neil, what is your, I don't see the,
Your Honor, on the first one, the state on the case end, on the one that the P number ending in 169, the state will recommend 2,500 plus PTS. Same again on the case with the P number ending in 143. And on the final one, she is on release for these two, and therefore state moves for no bond.
okay, so no bond in the 169 and no bond in the 214.
Well, the first two, the state is willing to go ahead and set a bond, but on the third one, we're going to hold no bond.
Okay.
Chronologically.
All right, so Pear?
Given the state's recommendation on no bond, I think giving her some kind of bond in the other cases is appropriate, so she earns time credit on all these. I just ask that you set the no bond hearing as soon as possible.
Thank you. All right, so Ms. Ramirez, by law, I am required to set a no bond hearing at the request of the prosecutor's office. So in the two cases where you have failed to appear, I'm going to set a no bond hearing January 21st at 2:30 p.m. in Pima County Superior Court. And that'll be for both of those. You'll have an attorney there, and the state will either be asking for no bond or ask to set a bond at that hearing. If a bond is set and you bond out, you are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, and you're going to be monitored by pretrial services. Your arraignment after that is the 23rd of January at 1:30 p.m. And then we've got the new charges. I'm going to order that you be held on $2,500 bond. You are eligible to be screened for drug court. I'm sorry, for steps court. So I'm going to set a review hearing, a steps hearing, January 23rd at 9 a.m. You will be transported to court, ma'am, if you're eligible for the steps diversion program. And then we need to talk about your city court case resisting arrest. I'll order that you be held on $500 cash bond. City PD is going to represent you. Your next court date is January 24th at 1:45 p.m. And that's for an arraignment in front of Judge Crenshaw, Tucson City Court. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs. And that is all. Do you understand, ma'am?
He'll argue it next week, no bond hearing. Judge, could I just ask for a little bit of clarification? Did you set the no bond hearing on the two existing matters or on the new charges?
Let's see. Probably. It should be the opposite. Let me go back and change that. Oh, can I get back? Can you change that? Okay, so the no bond should be on the new case. The new arrest. Okay, and that is also the one where she has a steps review hearing. Let's see here. And the other two, it should be $2,500 bond in each. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Pear, for the clarification.
So you have a no bond hearing on Tuesday at 2:30. That's when they're going to determine whether you get a bond in the new case that you were just arrested on. On the two old cases, you have a $25 bond in each of those. So you might get held no bond on Tuesday, but you might also get a bond on Tuesday. If you get held no bond, then there's no point to pay the bond. But if you get a bond on Tuesday, then you pay all this to get out. Does that make sense? Right. So like, so that's that. Yeah, so then, so regular. Emotions.
This one is for you.
Okay, yeah, questions. Very good.
So third order.
Yeah, that's right. Just take it back there.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good morning, ma'am. Is your true name Rachel Riley?
It is.
This is a time.
Yes.
This is a time set for an initial appearance. You've been arrested on charges of domestic violence, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, aggravated assault, temporary but substantial injury, kidnapping, discharging of a firearm in the city limits by a prohibited possessor. And I'm sorry, possession of a firearm by a prohibited possessor. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. I will appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you in this matter. State is recommending a $75,000 bond. Here.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd ask you hold Ms. Riley on a bond of only $5,000. This, she has no violent history. She has no history of failure to appear. She's a 2 and a 2 on the FTA and NCA scale. She's a no on the NBA scale, and she's a long-term kidney. For all those reasons, I would ask you to order a bond of $5,000.
Your Honor,
You.
State would just like to highlight the fact that she shot the defendant in the ankle. So this is probably somebody who's going to have a limp for the rest of his life and remember what this person allegedly did to them. 75.
So, Ms. Riley, I am going to order that you be held on $75,000 cash or secured bond based on your, I find that you're a danger to the community and a danger to the victim. You are to have no contact with the alleged victim or his residence or workplace. Your next court date is January 27th at 1:30 p.m. for preliminary hearing. You are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, possess no firearms or weapons, surrender your firearms, no acts of domestic violence, and monitoring by pretrial services. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, that's it for today.
Sorry.
Your Honor, was public defender appointed on that one?
Let me look.
Sorry.
Yes.
Thank you. So you can give your lawyer a call tomorrow. Okay. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Is your true name Christopher Jason Shelton?
Yes, ma'am.
This is a time set for an initial appearance. You've been arrested on charge of burglary in the first degree, theft, and possession of a narcotic drug. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. I'm going to appoint the Pima County Legal Defender's Office to represent you. State is recommending $5,000 bond. Pear, anything to add?
Your Honor, I'd ask you to give Mr. Shelton a chance on pretrial services release. It's a non-violent offense, no violent history, no recent failures to appear. He is full-time employed. He's a lifelong community member, and he does. His mom is willing to accept third-party custody of him and make sure it makes it. So all those reasons, I would ask that you give him a shot at release. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Mr. Shelton, based on the nature of this offense, I am going to order that a bond is appropriate, $5,000 cash or secured. Your next court date is January 27th at 1:30 p.m. You are to not have any contact with the alleged victim or the incident location, no alcohol or illegal drugs. You'll be monitored by pretrial services. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, that's it for today. And that
Thank you.
concludes initial appearances. Thank you, everybody.
Boom, boom. That's another day. Hope everyone has a good rest of the day. Catch you on the next one. Good morning. Good morning, Jeremy.